like it.
Gotta give up something. That's what we'll be at whole meeting Sunday morning. We'll be there at 10, which will remember.
Yeah, we got Jamie's birthday on Thursday.
Oh, geez, everybody's wearing their shirts today.
No, not me.
We didn't get the memo.
We don't have Chad, so we can't take a picture.
Only the nerds are wearing
The
it.
camera's going, so
It's a
whenever you
party
want to start.
thing. Oh, I guess not.
The camera's going, so whenever you want to start.
Okay, very good. All right, well, we can start off with roll call for our July 27th meeting. Tim Weber, President, here. Wendy Kuehl, Vice President.
Here.
Frank Blaine, Secretary.
Here.
Duncan Woodhull.
Here.
Chad Morrison's out with notice. Keith Carlson, Council Rep.
Here, but we'll leave it early, I'm sorry.
All right, and then Craig Wagner, City Employee Rep.
Here.
Good. First thing we can do is take a motion to approve the agenda. I'll motion.
I'll second.
All right. Fly through this, see if Frank can keep up on his writing. Okay, so. All right, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Very good. And then we can make a motion to approve the previous minutes from June 8th. Anybody else make a motion on that?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from June 8th.
I will second.
Very good. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Very good. All right, and then we can jump right into public comments.
Just me, huh?
Yeah.
The public.
We always feel special when somebody walks in and has something to say.
Ghost town. My name's Chad Young. Here, kind of, I work with Teresa and Jenny and Craig, a little bit with flag football and a little bit of softball too. So I guess the reason I'm here today is just to maybe discuss or put a couple of projects in front of you guys to consider. We'd be willing to help out with some funding if that's needed to get something done, or at least discussion. A couple of things. The soccer fields, youth soccer fields got moved to the east side of Swenson now, which kind of let flag football kind of lay out our fields how we want now this year, which we appreciate. But with that, there's that shed out there. We were hoping to get that moved over by the flag football fields and maybe get some concrete poured to set it on and possibly get electricity to it. That's all stuff that we help pay for. And then if we're identify a spot for it, that shed. And then with that, I don't know if we want to look at maybe pouring cement, pouring an 88 pad. I know last year we had some older people that had to walk across. I had my golf cart out there, so a lot of times we would just pick them up and take them to the field where their grandkids were playing, but I don't know if that's something we need to look into, or what you get now that that road's done. So that's one thing, is to get the shed closer, electricity to it for our scoreboards, we have ran concessions out of there. I don't know what the verdict is this year with the concessions. I think you guys were checking on that, or whether the person that does concessions wants to do it for flag football. I know it's a long trot over to the current concession stand. I don't think you'll get much business if they go that far. So that's one thing. Second thing is Teresa sent me I think you guys are working on the playground set, possibly, or it's in the works. And I know I identified those two spots, and I talked to Greg Hartman, the president for PASA. And the only concern we have, which we should have shown up before, long before now, of where you guys, I think, selected to put it is, that's on Saturdays when we play, there's a lot of traffic that goes in and out, and it's right by that play set. And it's also a long ways from anything to do with softball. I didn't know if you'd reconsider maybe putting in the outfield of two, kind of where the fields come together there.
We looked at that. That was one of the original spots.
Yeah.
There's just not room with the parking lot.
Isn't there?
No.
Okay, I didn't know. I haven't been out there to look to see if the parking lot.
I did look at that spot today again, because I was gonna go with the guys there tomorrow and start tearing the sod out of that, where you're talking about
Yep.
there. So we are looking at putting a fence
Okay.
along that area, where the driveways go to the different parking lots. We're gonna fence all that off. We
Okay.
have the other side opened up, but that way kids can't run out
Right.
into it.
So So that was one where, and you know, they're just wanting something, hoping it was closer to the softball, because that's a long way.
Yeah, it just.
I know it's not a good
Yeah.
spot there, so.
We're gonna have the jock get to where
Yeah.
it's gonna go now, just to make sure it's gonna fix. It takes like a 65 by 45
Okay.
spot in there, and we were measuring it today, and we're gonna take actual plans out there and see if we turn it a certain way, but still get the clear zones and everything else out, so.
Okay, no, that was just, I didn't know if you, I'm sure you thought about it, but that was something from NASA that they were concerned about. The other thing when I talked to him was they were hoping for possible with the batting cages out there. I know we used them as a team quite a bit, but they're just agri-line now, I believe.
Yeah.
Possibly, he said the idea is maybe to concrete and turf one of them, like City Park, one alley, and then the other one leaves.
City Parks, line. Somebody else, I don't know, one of the organizations brought that fake grass, whatever in there.
Okay.
So that's just matting that's in there.
So I don't know if that's what that would look like, how other places do it, but he said something about putting concrete, maybe that's a visit with him too, it's concrete on one alley with turf on it. And then the other one uses agri line so the pitchers can pitch off of it more game width, you know, but, or just grooming them a little more often during the summer.
Yeah, I don't think they get touched for.
They don't get touched, I don't think, so it'd be big divots and stuff, but, we talked about trees, but it sounds like we're trying to find a species of tree that'll grow good up there. So,
It's been tough.
yeah, it's something that we would also, as an organization, be willing to buy some trees to put around out there if you at least need help. But, those are pretty big ones. And then I don't know if there's any future plans to put more concrete in between. And is there an awning shade for like field two?
That's gonna be on this year's budget, yet I haven't got it ordered yet.
And just more concrete kind of connecting the stuff in the center too. So that's the littler things. Now, the big thing that I know you guys have probably discussed is about what it would look like for sprinkler systems out there.
We actually got some pricing on one of the fields.
Okay.
That'll be discussed tonight as far as for next year's budget.
Okay, because I also got a quick quote on if we did two fields, the big soccer field and the football fields, and it's the high end is $225, everything bought in labor. I didn't know if that is something we could get approval for to see if we could get funds and how we can fundraise for that. What that would look like on your guys' end. I'm not asking for any money at this time for it, but then also build a future so you can finish 3 and 4 in the east soccer practice fields. I think equipment costs roughly, what's like $100,000. See if we can get that. See if we can work on that. I don't know if this is the committee to ask that or if it's.
Did you think that was a big enough water line out there?
Yeah, when we put that water line in for the service out there, we put a 4-inch water main in, so it's got more than adequate for sprinkler systems. So, yeah, and I did get a quote. Tim actually lined up a guy to give me a quote on that, so I got a quote on one of the fields.
But you're talking the soccer and the like football.
Well, I just had them price the equipment on 1 and 2. And then the football, they basically put sprinklers across all the green space, so without knowing the actual layout. Where the like football fields are in the big soccer field, not the east fields. But build it so that potentially you can finish 3 and 4 and that church and that. But
What company did you contact for that? Do you remember?
And that's something if we're more serious about, I could get an actual quote.
Yep.
And bring it in. Just wanted to give you a rough. Blueprint. You show them the sprinkler layout. It was through somebody else that gave you the quotes.
Okay, fair enough.
But I mean, if it's something that you guys would be okay with me at least dabbling in to see what we get out there for funding and I don't know how it works with the city ground, but since we're a nonprofit, we could run some of that stuff through flag football, the matching grants and all that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how that.
It all
you can
depends
speak
on
to that.
how the grants are written, you know,
Right.
if they're okay, I mean, ultimately it becomes city property,
Right.
city's equipment, so if the grants allow the city to take it over, then we can apply for it. A lot of times they make the city apply for it, though, just because it's on our land
Right.
and whatnot, but, I mean, just depends on the grant, we
Yeah.
can check into that further.
And then just working with irrigation contractors to see if they volunteer sometime and, you know, irrigation, like whether it's getting stuff for cost, you know, maybe they'd be more open to it through a nonprofit than a city.
Yeah, right, more about it than the city, yeah.
I don't know.
Sometimes you can plead with them as well.
Right.
Up the kiddos.
So, I don't know how that would look,
Yeah.
but just at least get it in, out there. But I think, yeah, at least if you're looking at one field, that's at least a start.
Yeah, the price, the quote that I got for doing field 2 was about 26,000 to get that field.
Is that a big enough control box? That's the thing.
Yeah, I don't know that much about it.
Right.
I actually, when I met the guy, I had a lot of things going on, so he went out and did the measuring, did
Yep.
everything, and just sent me the quote, so that's all.
Okay.
You know,
And I mean, I could get a more broken down quote, send it to you, instead on more of the
Yep, the more information we got, the
field
better.
layout and how it
They
works.
can discuss it, you know.
I mean, I think that's pretty much it. I mean, our flag football numbers are growing. I don't know if you guys ever go out there on Saturday or drive by, but probably about 1,000 people out there between 9 o'clock and 1. So,
So the electrical quote to get electricity there, and I haven't had a chance to talk to Chuck to see where they're actually coming from. I guess they're from our storage shed, about 550 feet. It's over by that hydrant. Looking at just over 6,000 for electrical.
that's something we could split.
That'd be 6,000 from our current storage shed.
From our storage shed over there. Have you guys thought about putting that shed down by our shop that we've got down there?
Well, the only reason that we really want it there is we do feel, well, first concessions, to have electricity there. You can't keep anything warm, you can't keep anything cold, so you got very coolers out every Saturday. And then also all our scoreboards that we have, we charge those, and then to drag them to my garage every Saturday, I'll set on them.
But if you'd put that shed over by our shop, I mean, I know it would help with concessions, but we could get electricity there a lot cheaper.
Right.
Then you'd be able to just throw them back and pick up and drive them up to the fields.
Well, that's part of that, but, I mean, all of our field setups in there too, so all of our pylons, our game totes. Right now, I probably make, not counting the scoreboards, 4 or 5 trips with my golf cart right when I get there on Saturday morning to get stuff in the shed too. And then a lot of times my officials that we have officiate the game, they pick the stuff up, set the fields up, and put them away when they're done. So it's kind of a convenience thing.
Yeah.
Like I said, we'd be willing to pay for a big chunk of that, just to get it done, maybe. But I don't know, there's a little spot off the southeast corner of that, it's kind of flat there.
Yeah,
I don't know if that'd be a decent spot.
yeah, I mean, that's, depends on if these guys want to.
Yeah, no,
We could even bring some fill in if we needed to, just to level the spot off, so we don't get into that
And then I
drainage
don't know
area.
if you want to put, if you were pouring an 88 pad, maybe there, because you wouldn't have to go up that big hill.
Yeah.
In the spring, would soccer be moving back to the other
I
side?
don't think so. I think soccer's going to stay permanent over there, aren't they? I mean,
That I couldn't tell you. I haven't talked to Tim.
when I talked to Tim, he was okay with it. We'll see how it goes
I
for the
just
first year.
was wondering, just want to make sure it doesn't interfere with anything in the spring.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah.
I know they'll have all the, I think you guys moved the goals out east already and laid the fields out over there. There might be a field, maybe in the spring, they can come back over and use a couple fields if they need it. That's, they don't use it in the spring.
It's nice once the plate is laid out on one end or the other.
Right.
It's easier.
Our thing
Like
is,
so you're not moving around.
when it's at the
holes and
same
stuff.
time, we've got numerous lines painted.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
That
somewhat
would be mine.
confusing, and then every Saturday, we've got to move the goalposts out of the way to play, and the goals are right there, so you can run into them. Kids are hanging on them.
Yeah, it's more monkey bars.
Yeah.
Monkey bars, yeah, they're hanging on.
Yeah.
I mean, there's other little stuff, but.
What's your vision of fundraising? You said you,
I don't know if to start,
like, private, I mean, just individuals or
so
businesses?
even with flag football, I get minimal sponsorships in town.
Yeah.
I don't ask many. The ones I do ask always seem to want to give, when they find out what it's for, want to give more money than what I'm even asking for. So I think there's some there. I'm not obviously going to hit them. Businesses get hit up all the time, but I mean, looking at maybe that Twins grant, if that, I don't know if they'll cover, I'll read through that, I don't know if they'll cover sprinkler systems. It says no bleachers and that type of stuff, but it might have something to do with the field that they would maybe cover some of that. And then even looking into Premier Bank sponsorships, different avenues there. And then hopefully, like I said, the 200, 250 that I got for a quote was not putting a shovel in the ground, nothing. You know, it's a deal where they pull the lines to the sprinkler heads. If you can get parents out there for the organizations to start, just dig the holes, and you can get somebody to volunteer trencher time, get your water lines, names where they want to, a bunch of that, maybe cost anything.
Yeah, I'm not that familiar with all the, lot of them, or if they have what they got for control box or what, so that's something I'd have to do more research on myself, but
A
just.
big control box like that, you're probably looking at maybe like 15,000,
Yeah, I was
I would say, somewhere there, 15 to 20 would be
Like
control all the fields like that. That's a big deal. And then if you're doing that many holes, if you find somebody with a skid loader with like a 6 or 8 inch auger attachment, and you just go mark where you want sprinkler heads and just let them plow it, and then pull your line straight through all of those. That'd be probably the fastest for volunteer hours. Get it done.
But I mean, the other thing you gotta look at too is the water bill on it, or how you're gonna water it.
Thing number two
so-
is that watering hole.
Softball, obviously, like the flag football fields, you wouldn't have to water until maybe this time of year.
Mhm.
So, you know, you're kind of watering in sections, I think, more than the whole complex at one time.
Yeah.
So I don't know if, you probably have rural water rates, but no.
City.
City rate. I mean, you could look, I don't know what a.
And then we have to pay for the water too, because we get it from rural water.
But I don't know what digging a well would look like out there.
It's not
I don't
possible.
think-
Not possible.
Yeah,
There's
can't
the-
do well.
There's really no good water out that way.
Yeah.
I live a mile from there, mine's the port side, so terrible water.
Once you hit that, there's not gravel above it, you're not getting water.
Yep. I drilled wells for about 15 years, 13 years.
Anyway, I think that's, you don't have to do anything today, just maybe just go ahead of
Yeah, put
looking
out
into
maybe
that
that.
maybe, but.
It's good timing, we're gonna talk about next year's budget, so.
Do you have any questions for, like, I'm pretty involved with a lot of the youth stuff outside of soccer right now, so.
I guess my question is if the board would like to see that shed moved over there and concrete poured for it, and how soon would you like to have that done?
If I could get the shed pulled over there this year, whether or not there's concrete under it or not, that's not emergent. I took an hour cleaning up house crap out of it the other day. Just to get it maybe on some gravel or something for this season would be great. closer, next year it's in the budget, but next year would be. I mean, whenever, if we would get electric pulled to it or we don't, you know, I'd rather do it right and take time than push it. That's not my profession, but, you know, the other like things to consider is, Greg's not gonna be happy, but 3 and 4 are awkward fields for about anything except 14U baseball, 12U baseball. It's too big for softball. I'd heard, Greg told me that, what did we have last year? Matt, what did we have out here last year for big tournament? Nationals? Was it Napa?
Yeah, because we got the overrun from school.
And he said one of the reasons they probably didn't want to come back this year is backstops are too deep, infield's too big.
I heard they're not coming back because they don't have that many teams.
Well, that probably too, but he said.
Accommodate them
yeah,
all.
He said that didn't help either. He said that they're not made for softball. And they're really not made for like little kid baseball either. They're just kind of between your field. I don't even know, can you get 90-foot base paths on 3 or 4?
Thanks so much.
And you could play baseball, big baseball out there, but with no grass infield, no mound.
This is where we have the organizations all fighting for.
Yeah, I'm gonna say, we got.
That's where we have to with what we got.
Softball's fighting baseball.
Yeah, so we purchased a portable mound out there. I guess that could be one. There's a lot of baseball getting played out there right now. We purchased a portable mound that we use to play baseball on 3, 4. I don't know what the future.
What would your ideal look like on 3 or 4? Bigger or smaller then?
One field bigger, one field smaller. I don't even know. I think the fence, what is it, 316 down the line?
I couldn't tell you for sure.
Which is, baseball is doable, but I just don't know how the base paths would lay out. I just think having 2 of them there, you're not going to use. So you'd probably have to move home plate back, which then you gotta move foul poles, and then you'd have to lay sod, or tear out acre line, put dirt, bird letter, seed more, to make a smaller ring. I don't know if that's a difference. I just hate seeing this put money in that's not gonna be used appropriately.
Is there much baseball played in Hartford, or is it
Maybe more.
Is it? Okay.
I think this year
Well,
there
the
was.
tournaments are playing over there,
Yeah,
we asked about to come over to some of them, playing all the tournaments over there, so. This
Is
is
it
just
all
like
ranked?
practice, right?
it's a lot of practices. There are a few games, like pickup games. This year there was a 9s, a 10s, an 11s, and a 14s that practiced out here and played some like pickup games.
Okay.
Next year there will be another team.
So is this through the Humboldt baseball or?
Those 4 or 5 teams are not.
Okay.
They branched off. They're all West Central kids, but they don't have any association.
I think this Humboldt, obviously, the West Central Humboldt baseball, and then is there like a Hartford baseball in it?
That, I
organization
think that
still?
closed up.
Oh, that closed
I
up.
think last year or 2 years ago, they.
I saw that they were
Okay.
being done with that too, so. Are these guys playing like SELA baseball, or just like independent, or?
Basically tournaments.
Okay. Very good.
I think they might play CELA competitive, some of them, next year.
Gotcha, but these teams are just like, they're just making their own teams to go play wherever they want. Okay.
So I don't know what it looked like for leagues
Mm-hmm.
coming here. I know that's a touchy subject between baseball and softball, between everything, but I just know there was, plus I think there was a team out of, they had one, a central kid out of Sioux Falls that practiced out here, and then one softball team out of Harrisburg that practiced out here. So practice usage is getting used a lot, I think, but game
I know
usage.
we got a lot of practices here now.
So they've got to do something to maybe, softball association is trying to keep a league and get a league going here, but.
We need lights.
Lights, yeah.
But that's,
You think there'd be many games after dark? I mean,
can you
it stays dark
fundraise
till
for 7
10
figures
o'clock.
for lights?
Yeah.
That'd be mayor's dream.
Yeah, they're not cheap.
No, as I said.
Especially the new one.
But you get those, then you get tournaments, you get,
Yeah,
you build it, they'll come type of deal.
yeah, what do you do first?
Some of these smaller things, I think.
Yeah, the small, I'm not
I
here
think
for the
we-
big ones.
Yeah.
It's
We
the
understand.
sprinkler type stuff.
Yeah.
Tim's gonna donate half for the
Yeah.
sprinkler system.
I had my tractor out there for a year, I run it.
So, no, that's, I don't have anything else, so we should not do that.
Very good.
Yeah.
All
Thanks
right.
for the input.
Yeah, we were just looking at putting sprinklers out there, so if it makes more sense to go bigger sooner, then maybe get out there.
I'll bring fundraising for sprinklers for two softball fields and a soccer field and a football field with possibilities to do the east previous move. Okay. And the other two.
I asked Chad, do you think soccer will be okay just staying on the east side?
I think so.
The spring
I
and
think
fall? Okay. That'd make it a lot easier not having to move.
And the grass looks good over there, so I think we can make an official move over there, and then we'll have the soccer over there and football on the west
Easier not
side.
to restripe everything.
Yes,
and move,
not
all
to
that
have multiple
stuff.
lines on the fields, and, yeah.
The other thing with, right now we use temporary scoreboards. I did have somebody that was willing to donate all the scoreboards if we wanted to put up scoreboards on those football fields.
Hmm.
But when we only use it for 5 weeks out of the year, I have a hard time justifying spending for 5 weeks. So that's, but that's something future, if it would grow and you have power at least there,
Mhm.
you can pull off of it, maybe.
Might
That's a lot of,
upsize it.
yeah. So,
It'd be one of those things that eventually there could be a concession stand, bathrooms over in that area,
Right.
then you just bring another whole system,
Right.
power system to it.
yeah, that's, you
Be
guys'
the long-term goal, yeah.
All right.
Duncan, when I met with the gentleman from Shields, he wanted you to contact him because they got money that they work with cities on. He said they worked on a city, or worked with Harrisburg last year on their fields, in between 50 to 100,000.
Well,
So he said for you to contact him, talk to him about that.
Yeah, that was a big project. That was a good
so
project.
he got out and finally you guys got the shield sign installed?
Yep, I met him out there when they're putting it up, yeah.
He's a
Talked to him
good
for a while.
guy.
So he said, have you?
Hit him up for 100K?
There you go.
We're gonna go bigger. How about lights, Josiah? Come on, Shields lights. No, that'll be good, not a problem.
Right. Tim, did you have anything to add here? or-
No, I mean, I wanted to talk about us splitting the soccer and, just the church have all that up. And I'm sorry, I, for some reason, I thought the meeting was at 7, that's, I apologize.
Our other meetings are.
Yeah, and so, I had it on my calendar for 6:30, but, yeah, and talked to somebody else, and they had said 7, and yeah, so, but, yeah, I think, imagine using.
Yeah, I just said swap, which they've done.
Yeah, I think Terry's been moving stuff already.
And Terry's and goalposts, and, we're not gonna paint anything until, later on in August. Hopefully, I'll get them confirmation of numbers and the size of funds.
Very good. Anybody else have any questions? All right, well, we appreciate you guys coming. It's always good to
Appreciate the
have
input.
public input when we're not shooting in the dark here. Give us some direction, so thank you guys.
The concessions out there, is it working pretty well? I mean, not for you guys, but for is it the hub?
Softball. Yeah.
Do you, are you aware, are they doing pretty well, or?
I don't know how many games they had this year, because they didn't even have, I think they had a 12U team playing. And they used to have a 14, 16th league out there, that wasn't there. So the high school was the only games, and then some of the little 10U. I don't know how they're doing.
I talked to him about a month in, I think I agreed that it was going good, but I haven't talked to him lately.
How many games do you guys have for flag football?
What we do?
There's at least 4 games on Saturdays.
What?
There's at least 4 games on Saturdays.
Yeah, we have 3 different divisions, 24 teams.
Okay. So it's pretty much all Saturday?
No,
Or is it throughout the week too?
we're done, no. So Crooks runs a league, it's a really good league. They've only got 3 fields,
Mhm.
and they've got more kids. And so they end up having to play their games through the week. You know, when they used to bring the kids over there, they could train them on school schedule. So when we built this league, we decided to do doubleheaders on Saturday.
Okay.
And practice during the week if they want. We're done by 1 o'clock.
Okay.
1:15, sorry.
Nice.
So I think we have 5 or 10, 24 games a week.
Nice.
But they can't use the concession stand out there?
It's too far away.
You could, nobody probably.
Last year you guys had
It's a long ways.
like a van or.
So it's
Like a
a
food truck.
location thing.
A truck.
Like a
Yeah.
food truckish.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Food, beverage drinks.
Yeah.
Frank, it's a food truck wait to happen.
Yep.
I'll have to check that out on a Saturday.
It's early, won't be parking. Well, now this year we will, I guess, it's finished that, so.
Hope so.
Should be enough. Last year it's kind of chaos last couple of years up there. But they usually play 2, like our 2nd and 3rd grade division will play first. And then our 4th and 5th grade division, 6th grade division plays at 11 and 12. So there's a brief time there where everybody's there waiting and not finishing at 10:30 to 11 days.
So concession would do well there for those times.
I've actually ran the concession stand on my daughter and softball team has the last couple of years. We just offered pizza ranch and pizza out.
Mhm.
And then you put a candy and pop. I'm trying to think of the numbers. It wasn't great, but it wasn't something that maybe if there's electricity and warmer food, but to carry that inventory is.
You kind of match the day too.
Yeah.
Some days hot
Yeah.
chocolate would go really
Yep.
well.
Right.
Other days it would be Gatorade.
Yep.
Might have made $200 to $300 every Saturday, clear, $200 to $300.
Very good. All right, well, these are things that we can definitely put on talking points on the agenda for the next times going forward, but that's really good information to have, a good list of requests, and I tell people all the time, if you have things you guys want to see, come bring them to the meeting so we can talk about them, and that's the best way to get them on here, so, yeah, it's great to bring this to our attention. And some of the stuff might even be able to, like, moving the shed might be something that Craig could do without really being a budget item, I guess, and what that entails, or how big that shed is, I don't really know for sure, but.
Yeah, we moved it already once.
Okay. Some log chains and a strong golf cart, right?
It used to be the softball shed, I used to sit
Yep.
and build a concession
Up
stand.
where the
We got
concession
poles
is,
and
yeah.
moved it, yeah.
All right, very good. Anything else to add here? Or do you guys want to move on to reports now? The reports it is. All right, any updates from council staff and staff members on non-agenda items? I think I saw on here for Teresa's notes, cameras for the dump in the park is gonna be put in on Wednesday.
Yeah, they were supposed to come last week, but they had some staffing issues with some people sick and out of the office and whatnot. So they're planning for this Wednesday to come here and start that project, so should be able to get it up within a day or two, so. And then I also wanted to mention, I didn't have a report because we just kind of got a date set today, but the city council is going to do kind of a drive around the town with golf carts to kind of look. We did this last year, remember, or maybe 2 years ago, to kind of look at the different park areas, city property, just to kind of do a drive around to see what we may want to consider looking at before budget comes, because we're doing budget at the end of August. So that's going to be next Tuesday It's gonna be at 5 o'clock. So I'm inviting this board and the planning and zoning board as well. So if you can make it, just come here to City Hall. We'll have some golf carts. We'll have a couple city staff cars, so we should have enough for people to drive around. But the last time we did, we kind of just went to the different park areas, talked about the different projects going on and what possible projects we could do. Kind of helps give the council a little, be able to see stuff and kind of visualize stuff and to think about some stuff before budget. So that'll be next Tuesday, August
time?
4th at 5 o'clock.
Can you send out
We got to
a,
be back here before 7 for the council meeting, so figured about an hour and a half is what we're.
can you send out a calendar invite for that one?
Yep,
That'd be
I can do
great.
that.
Thank you.
So, yeah, just wanted to mention that as well. Otherwise, I think all my other updates are on the agenda. So,
All right. And we can move to old business unless you had anything, Craig, not on the agenda?
Everything's on the agenda, so.
All right. We can move into the old business pickleball courts. We can start right there. If you want to, Craig, on Lyons Park.
So we got the color decided, and I got a old guy, he's gonna be here in probably 2 weeks to surface them. We're gonna be probably starting either tomorrow or Wednesday, getting the fence up, and we should have that up by the end of the week. So we'll be ready for them to do the surfacing, and the court should be open in about 3 weeks.
Perfect. That's like 2 weeks that they're off. We gotta be off the paint
Um,
before you get to play. Is that about right?
I wanna say it's about a week or something like that.
Okay.
So, he's, the guy that's gonna do it, he ordered supplies here a couple weeks ago, and it's supposed to be in last week for paints. He said he should be in this week, then he's gonna go to Del Rapids, he's got a couple to do there, and then he's coming here next. So we figured a couple weeks he'd be here for sure.
All right.
Practice board, I haven't done anything with that yet.
Yeah, we still need to really kind of iron out where we want that. Any ideas or whatever, if we're thinking along the end of that bathroom, or if we're thinking into a fence, or what we're thinking there. But either way, probably is going to require some sort of more concrete board to put up this. Is kind of what I'm
Figure out
getting.
a spot for it, we can easily pour a pad or something.
Mhm.
It wouldn't have to be as perfect as a.
Yeah.
I think we got $1,000 budgeted for that project, so we have some money already in budget.
Yep.
Is Golden West gonna,
No, no, they notified you today that they weren't gonna sponsor it.
Right, yeah, no, and last week actually we got, the mayor has reached out to another place here in town and they're passing on it too, so he may still just try to find some sponsorship, but we do have all the funds already in budget, so we can move forward with it, and if we happen to get a sponsorship in the future,
right?
all the better, or if we get a
What did they say about Shields having some money to give?
Yeah, but, yes, that could be a possibility, but also then we want to think about other things Shields could be
bigger,
helping
bigger.
us with, like what these gentlemen were talking about. I mean,
Agreed.
Right, I mean, if
You
they're
know.
gonna, looking at bigger amounts, that might be something.
Yeah,
Right.
and like Teresa said, we already have the budget for it, so it's not a make or break situation for
Right, we
us.
can
Correct.
still move forward.
All right, and then egg line, that's been done for quite a while, pretty much the whole summer, right, Craig? We did that early
Yeah,
in the spring.
it goes in the spring,
It was the coolest attraction at the park before the new park went in, so all the kids climbing it. Very good, Swenson Park, new sign, that's been done for a while. The shade structure and bleachers,
yeah. Need to order them yet, I haven't got to them yet.
all right. And then that kind of goes along with what you were talking about and getting more concrete over there and stuff, so there's continued progress going on in that area. Let's see here, 2 scoreboards, we have them.
The
and
scoreboards are in, the metal's in for the framework. Kyle was hoping to get on them this weekend. He's building them on his weekends instead of during work week, so should have them ready next week sometime. We'll get those put up.
Excellent. netting between black tie and the soccer fields, is this something that we need to
I'd say
adjust?
We might need to readdress this at the soccer field.
Well, I think
movie.
the field that this is gonna go on is going to be the middle field, and I
And
believe
that's
that's where the high school.
That's gonna be the big one?
Yeah,
Okay,
that's,
okay.
yeah, but I
Okay.
got
It'll be
that
out the wall.
information off the Sioux Falls' site, so I did some research on it, so we'll get those ordered here too. so.
Awesome.
Yeah. They'll still go in the same fields that they were originally gonna be on.
Okay. And then the playground sweat, we already heard from Craig a little bit on that. They're going to
Yeah,
try
we
to
start getting that prep this week, so.
get the puzzle pieces figured out on that.
Yep.
Is that something that's like got us predetermined and like set shape, or is that, can you play with the shape on it?
No, it's
little
a,
bit?
it's a preset. You need to start with the center base basically, and that gets squared up, and then you start building off that as you go out.
Okay.
We actually did, the school, when they gave us the equipment, they actually had all the records and the layout and everything like that. So we got all that information, so.
Great.
It shouldn't be too bad then.
Yep. It'll be just building little miscellaneous broken things that you guys find along the way there, so. All right, and then Turtle Creek, concrete pads for disc course or disc golf courses, those are all done,
Yep.
right? And then unallocated funds, 35.5 in unallocated funds, and we have been using some of those periodically for shelters in the park, and all those shelters are completed. They look great. They have very visible markings on what number each shelter is, if you guys haven't seen it. So.
We are going to actually, we've got numbers for next year's budget, so we'll put it on our budget for parks to do the rest of them. Get everything look the same.
Very
So I don't
good.
know if some of these unallocated funds, if it's something that you want to throw $300 or whatever it is, I can figure it out exactly, but for concrete, if we're to move that building, I like just setting the concrete right away.
Mhm.
And we could even just stub up conduit for power in the future and have it ready for that at the same time.
Yep, yep.
So what's our ballpark number for our unallocated?
Well, 35,000 was unallocated, we used 8,200, so you got a little less than 27.
About 27, okay.
27,000.
This page on the back of your package should kind of have a little breakdown of where we're at on the year.
Yeah.
Craig, it's my understanding that vandalism has stopped, right?
We still get a little bit, but I think once we get the cameras up and they know
Right.
that there's camera
That's
system there,
helpful.
I think it'll make a difference.
And just a small follow-up, you know that divider that was being talked about in the,
Oh, yes, you can have.
by the urinals, was that?
At the pool?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's in, yeah.
All right.
Yeah, it's a
I figured
temporary
it,
one.
I did see that.
It would be addressed on Tuesday, so
Yeah, it's a temporary one for this year. The other, because you have to special order all that stuff, it's all pre-measured and stuff like that, so it is ordered, so. Yep.
sounds good.
Are these cameras, they're just internal to our city, or are they like hooked up to like flock camera system? or-
They'll just be for our internal city.
Okay, very good.
So they probably won't be looked at unless there's some vandalism, because we'll know on a daily basis if we have any that night, so we can just go back
Yeah,
and pull
yeah.
films
It's
out that night.
not like a person tracking system, like, it's just monitoring our stuff. Very good. Teresa's like, oh gosh, this again.
Oh, God, they're already opening up lawsuits. We already have the person who was upset, we have 2 flood cameras in town, but those are put up by the sheriff's department.
Yep.
Not the city did it. Oh, boy. We did an earful.
The sewer system, the sewer plant's actually got the camera system, so when we ordered that system, we made sure it was big enough to handle up to 16 cameras.
Yeah, something like 14.
Okay.
So
Very good.
we're able to add on to that system, these cameras, so
And
that helps.
are we putting these on, cameras, are they coming out of our unallocated as well?
So, the council adjusts our
Or is it just
budget
a
funds out of
council?
reserve, so they're not
Okay.
coming out of your budget at all.
Very good.
We decided we'll take them just out of maintenance for the park.
All right.
There you go. All right, skip.
Take care.
All right, it's good to see you.
All right, so now we got to get to kind of the brass tacks of what we're doing for the 1 to 5 capital improvements here. And this is our last meeting before budget, correct?
Yes.
We got to get this ironed out and then take a vote on it and kind of get where we want to be. We had a big hit on us with the Game Fish and Parks saying no to our request, as far as taking some money out of our request here and figuring out how to backfill that and kind of keep on pace with the amount of improvements we can do every year. So if anybody has any thoughts or anything here that they want to look at right away?
I did talk to Amy at the pool. I took my grandkids to the pool when they were here, and she thought the shade structure with permanent, shade structures would be helpful. That cement gets really hot in that baby pool area, and I think if they had some stuff, and you could work with her on where she wants those, but I think budgeting for that, and then those new benches outside of the pool there, I think having something over those would be helpful. Because it's usually elderly people that are sitting there, or moms, or...
Did Neil get back to you on that? 'Cause he did call me.
He did call you?
Yes,
Okay,
but he
'cause I was
couldn't
on-
find you.
Yeah, I was on the plant,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, basically, when you call to get some pricing on shade structures, it really depends on what kind you want, how big they are,
Yeah.
how wind resistant you want them, how, So there's kind of a leadway and whatnot, but he says, he thinks best, especially in the baby pool area, is versus something you put inside, which would, we'd have to maybe drill into the concrete and take up space or whatnot. He thinks putting a shade structure like the pole on the outside where it overhangs into the,
Yeah,
a baby pool would probably
Yeah.
work the best and be the least evasive, take up less room.
Yeah.
He looked at a 10-foot by 20-foot structure, and that would be 10 foot of shade, 20 feet long. And like I said, it depends on, the size of material and kind of stuff. It's going to be anywhere from $35,000 to $50,000. So that'll just give you an idea of budget funds. And if we do put something in budget, then we know what we can work with, and we can kind of narrow down exactly where we work. But he thought something that, like I said, you could mount outside with poles that would, like, lean over, would work the best, because it would take up less deck space, and it, you wouldn't have to drill into our deck, into the concrete and whatnot. So he thought that'd probably be the best way to go with the shade structures.
Because there's really no shade at all in the main area.
None at
There's
all.
none at
Well,
all.
and he said, I asked him about that too, because I said, I said, we definitely want something in the baby pool, because there's little kids there, and, keep them shaded. He says, the main pool, he says, the way the sun hits it, he says, you can't put anything on the north end, because you won't get any shade. I mean, you'll get it outside the pool, but not in the pool. And there's really no area kind of on the south side that would probably come. You probably don't want it on the deep end, is what he's saying there,
Yeah.
Because then you're just shading the deep end, which I think, more of your families on the, shallower end. So he didn't know how well it would work in the big pool. Yeah. So, I mean, it's something.
I don't know what other options there are. I mean, it's kind of a small space, but...
Yeah, it's just like you send kids to the pool in the summer when it's hot because it's a way to cool down, but then you're like, it's almost more dangerous because now you're in direct sunlight all day.
He says there's a lot of sunday, there's a light sun, and there's, what do we got to keep? 3 feet of, I mean, we do have limited deck space because regulations, you got to have, is it 3 feet of clear space from the pool?
I think it's,
So we can't, put any loungers or shade or anything in that width around, because I thought he said 3 feet, but I don't know for sure. So he says we are kind of limited what we can put in there, because there's a lot of lounging chairs, he says there, so, there's, so. But we can always budget some funds, and then kind of have more discussion of what exactly to put in, and where to put it, as we get into next year.
During the breaks, it seems like the kids all go outside under the trees.
Yeah.
They all go get concessions,
Yeah, and it's, there's
nice
no
trees.
I don't know if maybe we did some surfacing out there where they're not in grass, instead they're on some type of
A little more
surface.
concrete versus the grassy area.
And then if maybe did something off the building that would shade.
yeah, I mean, there'd be some options that maybe you can look at. Like on some of that, where the lounge chairs are at, you could almost probably look at maybe setting some posts in and do a cable system, something
Yeah.
like that. You could hang something just, for the season and take it back down right away.
Or maybe we just look at budgeting a dollar amount. And
I would
then-
say that, I would think maybe just, budget a dollar amount, then we can kind
See
of
what
narrow
we
down
do, see
exactly
what we do from there.
what will work where, and, kind of get the details nailed down
Yeah.
further.
Yeah,
into next
I mean,
year.
I like, the idea of something retractable. I don't know how feasible that is, because not every day you need full sunshade. Maybe some days you want a little bit more sun, and some days you need the protection, but.
Yeah, when it's super hot, when
Mhm.
it's 97, you want,
Yeah.
you want more shade than.
This week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, does anybody have a number in mind? I mean, is the 65,000 sound like something you guys want to earmark in there? We could maybe, get something over the kiddie pool we could be on the 30,000 range, and then maybe something elsewhere, or if it's takes the full 60 over the kiddie pool area, or it's kind of in the middle.
I think whatever we do, we want it to be durable.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I agree.
I would say focus on the kiddie pool.
Yeah. 'Cause she said she has umbrellas, but they're not like commercial, like really sturdy
Okay.
ones, so they kind of, the wind takes them, and she
Mhm.
said they don't put them out for that reason most of the time,
Yeah.
because of the wind factor, so.
Very good. Anybody have a number they want to throw on there?
Well, we're at 116, right, for total, without that part, without that path.
Yeah, the 116 would be, 2 more pickleball courts.
2 more pickleball.
And then the
new
basketball court, Craig thought we probably need to bump that up a little bit.
Probably about 48, because there's gonna be some gravel and stuff like that in there. that we gotta bring in, so we must tear it out. We looked over the numbers again today, and I think 48 would work.
That would include new hoops, right?
Yep.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Ones that adjust by.
Yeah, there's so many different ones out there, depends on what person gets, but I was figuring about, and depending on too what size, I was figuring about 45 by 75.
Yeah.
Which is kind of a normal backyard type or something like that. A high school one's actually 84 by 50, so it's not too much smaller than an actual high school court. So that's what I was figuring size. Poles, they're looking at about 5,000 for them, plus about another 1,200 for 50 for shipping. Coating, I was figuring about, what back was I figuring? 75, probably close to 10,000 for coating. So it's pretty close, same size as pickleball courts are. So when I figured up that, I was pretty close to that 46, plus there'd be gravel for a couple thousand for that, so.
Well, we've got 2 youth experts here. Do you ever see handball taking off anytime soon?
I'm not familiar with handball like that.
Okay.
I've
I
only,
know they're starting to play it.
I saw it in Madrid. It was
Yeah.
pretty common there, but I have not seen anybody talk about it here.
Pickleball seems to be
It's all
The
over
craze.
Europe, and I think it's starting to take off in the big
Age
cities.
Yeah, yeah.
I just didn't know if, before we make modifications to the basketball court, if we have to consider something like that, or we're still too far out for that.
Can I say one thing on the basketball court?
Yeah.
Possibly, I don't know how much usage it gets right now. It seems to be getting used a fair amount the last year or two. But maybe keep in mind, I wrote it out, that maybe you might want to add 2 or 4 hoops in after. If you don't have kids, maybe they can play
Like on the side,
2
the
games
sideways.
this way instead of, I just know sometimes with only 2 hoops, you have, high
Yeah.
schoolers playing, little kids can't come play.
Right.
So, I mean, I'm not saying to do that now, but just lay it out or lay the lines out, maybe consider. Eventually maybe adding 2 hoops in.
Yeah, or even like the short hoops or whatever. I don't know. Do they play on 8-foot hoops in youth, or?
8 foot till 73.
Yeah.
We'll see what-
The only problem with 8-foot
They're
hoops
gonna
is you
be
get the high
dunker
schoolers
hoops.
just jamming.
Yeah.
They're gonna be,
yeah, that's the
I mean,
problem.
they go to the Because you got 8-foot hoops right now at the elementary school, there's 6 of them over there, I think, and I see them getting jammed on pretty hard over there too, so.
But I guess if you have cameras in, say, you
Greg, I'm gonna brainstorm a sponsor for that too, because, you know, how cool would it be to just have someone's name, and that's, I look at it as like a sport court, you know? We can- We're the 2A champs around here, we gotta get someone to sponsor. Right? We are the 2A champs.
I kind of liked your 60,000 for shade structure, because that would give us some flexibility to maybe do something else in the big
Right.
area.
Yep.
All right, let's
Because that would only bring us up to 178,
Mhm.
right?
I think we should,
What's our cap, 3?
We usually go around 3.
yeah, I think we should put 65,000. If it's hanging over the edge like we were suggesting, I think we're probably gonna have a bit of a dead man over there holding some support. What do you think about that, Craig? Or do you think it would not be that robust?
I guess it's just a matter of see what we get from budget and then just see what we can build after that.
Yeah.
65?
65?
I like that.
I'm gonna mention something that, whether it's next year or whatever, but there's about 700 feet of trail down by Turtle Creek that's right along the creek area there that keeps saturated. It should be removed and have concrete pad or slab put back in there.
Oh, yeah.
So that's something that probably not next year, but the year after, we'll definitely have to look at replacing that. And that's gonna be about $10 on a running foot.
Is that like right where it makes that sharp turn and there's like a
Yeah.
culvert under
Yeah,
it?
I guess not $10, it'd be about $100 running foot, so it's about 70,000.
Okay.
We can't raise it up to get it better conditions because of the no rise with the creek, so.
Hmm.
So it's pretty much, the elevation is where it's at, so.
Do we need to put in some drain tile or anything?
I don't think it would really help, it's because it's right on the creek, so everything underneath, that's all just saturated. And when it floods in it, really saturates everything, you know, and then it just stays saturated there, and drain tile, and I mean, something could possibly look into, but I don't think it would help though.
All right, anything else you guys have on mind? Did we look into a fitness court of some sort? Did you send that to us?
Yeah, I just sent, they had a grant for like those ninja style playgrounds.
Yeah.
So it was just, we had talked, you had
Yeah,
brought it
yeah,
up one
yeah.
other time, so I happened to see that grant.
Hard
so I was-
to put in for it when we, on this stage of grants, right? So, but,
I don't know if we want to focus on maybe some of the items that, at this
Mhm.
Swenson, because we don't have a lot, I mean, budgeted for next year. It'd be nice to knock off some of these.
Yeah,
things
I would
for
love to
next
put
year.
I would love to put a number on getting started on irrigation. I don't know, you know, we're shooting from the hip. If, you know, even if you put 100,000 on it and your quotes on materials alone was 2.25, right?
No, material labor
That was all in,
Shoot,
right?
everything.
That was
Oh,
all
is
in.
done,
okay.
and like I said, that was probably more than it needed to be.
Yeah.
The material, I think, quotes right now.
Okay. You just throw it on Craig's shoulders
So-
and take care of it.
I hate talking
Public
about
Works
it,
wants to do
it's-
stuff.
Budget for a trencher, we'll get her.
Yeah. Craig's been looking for one anyway.
So Tim, since we didn't get the grant for the trail, then is that moved, is that a?
That's to
moves it?
20.
I moved
Yeah,
it to
we-
the next
it-
year.
she bumped it to
We will try to
28 on the
reapply
schedule
next
there.
year.
Yeah, try to get that out.
I put it in, yeah, 2028. Hopefully we can reapply next year and get it, and then it'd be a 2028 project.
Yeah, I mean, I'd love to throw $100,000 on a line item like that, you know, I just, I don't know if we do that and then next year we get halfway done, and we realized we didn't have near enough money, and now the city council's mad at us for asking for it, and ask for it for a start, or just a kind of a placeholder for it, so we can get it ironed out. And then we got, like Craig said, it was about, what'd you say, 30,000 to get that one done that we're looking at, for one
26.
field, 27,000,
What's that for?
26.
just to do one
Oh,
field.
yeah, so
Irrigation.
20, yeah, so 20, right around 26.
Mhm.
Just the bus.
Say something. I think if you're looking to spend it, if you can get the infrastructure for bigger picture and maybe just do that.
Yeah, you're gonna wanna start with the full controller, right?
But, right.
And then build off of that,
So
so.
like, maybe you don't run the water line north yet, you just start with the softball field.
Yeah.
Probably gets the most high end.
So there is a 4-inch line that runs between the ball fields
Mhm.
and goes all the way past the concession stand to that hydrant. We brought it all that far, so we just tap off of those to the fields. Going to the soccer fields, where that hydrant's at there, that's where that 4-inch line stops. So we did pretty good link with water as far as what I could do at the time, so. So yeah, that's, like I said, you can, and I don't know that much about the zoning of them, but I believe you should, probably could do each field of its own type of zone. You
Mhm.
could use a controller for each one of them, so you could just have, control this one if you wanted to, and then you could add another field later, you could add a soccer field, stuff like that. Just do it that way.
Mhm. So do you think we need to get a big controller that could manage the whole park, or do you think we could just do like?
That way you don't have them firing at the same time.
Yeah, I think you'd probably get one big controller that could run everything, just.
Yeah, so do you think maybe we should take that 27,000 and make it like a 40 or 50,000 request, so that we make sure we get that $20,000 controller? that
Get the
we in
controller
there?
and then just have that be able to run each field by itself.
Yeah.
That's, I mean, if you're gonna do it, that's the way I do is have the main controller that can do it, and then just add fields as we
Mhm.
can.
And then we can find out.
Because you never know, Shields might be wanting to, maybe that's something they would look
Yeah.
at doing for a donation, so that we could do soccer fields with
Yeah.
And we'd start with like fields 1 and 2, those are the most active fields.
Specifically too, because the high school would
it.
be
Yeah.
Field 2.
But like I said, 1 and 2 are built more for softball.
Mhm.
Is why they probably get the most usage.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put down 50,000 for irrigation, unless somebody wants to change that, and then we'll just explain around it, and then we can, at the end of this, make the motion, and we can really dive in between now and budget, and if we need to do an email vote to change that number, I'd be okay with that.
Well, it might not fly with the council, but I was wondering if we have 2 identified items, and then this irrigation, and the pool shades. So have the pool shades plus the new basketball court, and then have the rest be Swenson Field improvements.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking that too, and then we could use it for whatever, so some of these little
Right.
singular items too.
And
that
just
can
say
improve.
that includes start of an irrigation system with focus on field 2 and.
Yeah. I like it, get a little bit more broad.
Yeah, and then we could do electricity potentially if we
Right.
needed to, the ADA pad, some of these other things, get those done.
Only suggestion, don't get too broad, because if you remember last budget time, the unallocated funds, they only, unless you had a project identified, they didn't want to release the funds. So,
Yeah.
I mean, they do want to know where the money's going, I guess. or
Yeah.
what,
And
so.
at the last budget request, there was a comment by one council member who said, "I'm sick and tired of putting this much money into Swenson every year."
Yeah, so-
And, you know, we had to kind of walk her back and just let her know, like, hey, you know, I understand it is a big amount of money, but it is a very large complex, and now that we're this far into it, you're in bed with it, and you gotta see it through, so it's gonna take small steps over
Well,
time.
we have to
but-
utilize it.
Yeah.
I mean, we need to make it to
Well,
where we can utilize it.
When you're looking at money, I think we also have to be careful how much we're investing in the pool.
Mhm.
And And what is
So we
the
got a big
expected
project
life?
coming up there.
Yeah, because we're,
30 years ago?
yeah, we're coming up on what, 20, 30 years past expected life on that, so. And now what's the deal with our pool heater system? It was made by a company that got bought by a company, and that company went out of business, and now we're making it up with bubble gum and.
Yeah, at some point, we will need a new pool facility,
Yeah.
so, yeah. Last year we budgeted, well, 3 years ago, we put 100,000 away, last year another 100,000. I mean, it's gonna take a lot of years doing it at that pace. You're gonna have to find grants or do a bond or something to get to it, but.
That 100,000 is keeping up with inflation and what it's gonna cost.
Right, exactly. I mean, you're not gonna be able to do it without some kind of big revenue.
Travel a lot, but I do that.
Because what was the number? I forget now. It was
6
like.
million.
Yeah, 6 million. Yeah.
Latest and greatest number on it. I keep
And that was
surprised.
pre-COVID quote, right?
No,
That was-
the CIP was updated every year.
Okay.
I think pre-COVID, it was only like 30 million or 1 point, or 2.3 or something. It keeps, like I said, jumping all the time, and now we're at 6 million.
With the Twins grant you were talking about, that doesn't, would they, lights fall into that category of?
I'd have to look at that. I don't think lights, 'cause I think like lights and bleachers, I don't think.
So what I'm understanding right now is we got an underutilization of like 2 fields out at Swenson Park, which we've thrown a lot of money at. We got the concession, finally we have the concession stand, right? We're utilizing that, that's great. Lots of activity with soccer and flag, football, but we still have 2 fields that are underutilized. So figuring that out, right? Whether it's the bases or baseball, softball, and then on top of that, how do we get more activity out there? I mean,
Yeah, 'cause
At some point,
I said, this year,
yeah.
we don't have any tournaments at all.
No,
This year, so
but
it's
if we
not
had lights.
generating any funds at all.
That's what we
Right.
gotta think
It's
about
being
in the
used for
future. We
practices,
gotta-
and it's all it's being used for, yeah.
I mean, Humboldt probably kills it with light. I mean, they've got,
Yeah, they're busy over there and they hosted.
2 separate state
they
tournaments.
just had a 32-team tournament, didn't they?
Boys state tournaments.
Did they? Yeah.
Do you guys
They
think
took it
we would
over.
actually be able to get baseball over here for tournament?
I heard that
I don't
too.
think so.
I mean, it's-
They're trying to make improvements over there.
And they put a lot of money into
It's
it.
not even a decade of improvements. I mean, they've been doing it for 30 years trying to get that
Yeah,
done. Right? It's-
Hopefully they get their stuff figured out and it's back cohesive.
Yeah, that's the problem, like the baseball teams, the kids are breaking apart, and they're not providing, there's not enough kids anymore, because everybody's splitting.
I mean, as far as tournaments here, you could put in, I don't know who would have to do it, usually the baseball association, you could put in a bid to host a state tournament here in Hartford. Separate from that, you need somebody to run.
And I know
Tournaments.
for softball, they were asked to host a state tournament, but without lights, you couldn't do it.
So, in order to host a state tournament, would all 4 fields have to be the same, or would they be
So we
okay?
need for fields though, because if
Yeah,
if
they'd
you
have
don't
to
have
be
an opponent, then
dimensionally
you're not.
It depends.
spec to the, for the softball.
Because softball, that's a deep backstop on those 2 fields.
3 and 4, it's,
Yeah,
yeah, there's things.
I kind of think we should probably be, you're probably not going to hear this, we should probably be leaning into softball more if there's any chance of bringing that crowd. And probably still be able to have baseball practices there, but as far as changing field dimension sizes, I don't know, I'd love to have a baseball field here too, but if it's, there's no reason to make fights, right? But,
Yeah, I think
Fight with Humboldt.
yeah,
unless something drastic happens, I don't see anything,
leaving there, right? So.
yeah, where it's, I got about it for softball too, so I'm literally in.
Yeah, yeah.
I just think if you could make one more of those fields, plus you have field A,
Mhm.
and even B is almost softball regulation. It's a little bit short fence, but if you had to host a game there, you have to talk with Greg on that, but
Okay.
theoretically have 5 to 6 fields you can switch.
So maybe that's,
And you can host little kid baseball tournaments on those fields.
yep,
That's
yep.
the thing.
And the baseball practices that are happening could probably continue to happen, right? And it's not like you'd have to have the perfect backstop to have baseball practice, so.
So in order to make that field, let's say we, field 3, we wanted to make it into softball, we have to take the egg line back out, get some, shrink up the infield and move the bases all back.
Yeah.
Because the outfield fence, you still put a temporary fence up for that anyway.
Yeah, that's what you would have to do, you know, if you want big posts up, move fences, but, you know, I mean, I guess if you did, you'd start on 2 and move that fence in first, since that's the high school, and that, you know.
But not, they've all 4 were set up with that temporary roll
Yeah.
fence, so.
Okay. And all the Sioux Falls fields have, a lot of their fields are the same way, they're 240 to 300 of fence, and they put up the top fences for
Yep.
tournaments.
A lot of times.
So you're starting with home plate, moving into it to the backstop, and then everything else just kind of moves in with it, is what you're thinking?
That's what you'd have to do in the field, make it softball, playable, or make it
Okay.
friendly softball anyway, because I mean, it's playable, it's just the
Yeah.
infields are so huge and the backstop's way back.
Okay. Does that leave enough room on the, towards the dugouts then for safe play? Or is there like a space there that is required?
Should be.
I think it'd still be okay there.
Your angle's still the
It's
same.
field, right?
Yeah.
So,
Everything
it's just down the fence from your backstop on any field, so.
Yeah, but if you're this far from the fence and you move this line back, then that line gets closer.
Right.
So just make sure, you know, you got somebody on deck swinging a bat there and everything, so. Yeah, right.
I mean, it's still something we could look into and just see what it would take to do
And
that.
I would visit with Greg, the softball association,
Okay.
just to make sure that that's.
Because the backstops are even wider too, so I mean, I don't know if bringing everything back, if it's gonna make things, it's something definitely want to visit with him on to see if it's
Yeah,
gonna be doable without reinventing the whole thing, you know.
I would get them involved with any changes, because he would know more about tournaments and leagues and hosting more, things of that nature.
Perfect. We hit that on the Swenson improvements blanket as well here. And then so we're coming off of 50,000 for irrigation and throwing some other stuff in here. What kind of number are you guys thinking on something like this?
For some of these other items.
Get kind of all together in Swenson.
Because we're still a few years out from Jan's development park, right?
Oh, yeah.
For the actual
4 or
park,
5 years,
yeah.
we're thinking, right? So.
You know, it might be something that if you want to try to get that number up there for improvements, it might not be a bad idea to look into some type of handicap parking down there and doing some type of ramp to at least get people like in wheelchairs and that up to a certain level, and then also to the concessions area where we need to be.
Mhm.
So, doing a lot of concrete work.
I think some sidewalks, instead of softball, baseball, softball fields.
At least get a bit, into a general area with some of the fields so they can at least, you know, kind of, right now, we got field 2's got, or field, well, 1 and 2 both got handicap accessibilities. You know, you might want to consider bringing some more down the other side, at least bring them in on the other 2 deals,
Yeah.
and maybe something on the.
Well, because now you have parking to
Parking out
the
there
north,
then?
you might want to have a sidewalk coming from north parking,
Mhm.
between 2 and 3.
And then
Unless they can
spot.
break it something up so flag football would have some access, soccer might have some access, something like that.
Like I said, I don't want to afford a function of football if I can do that.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd rather see more concrete work probably at this point than the softball complex area.
If we can put a couple ADAs or
Yeah,
something like that.
Down in that area there, down that
A
north
path,
side there, and bring it up
Mhm.
that,
That would
bring a
help.
path up to the concession from there and branch it off from there.
Yeah.
Number you think for concrete improvements?
200.
Okay, there's budget, we're done.
I I mean, you'd have to figure out the footage, it's, you know, we'd get pretty good pricing on it. And that'd be one of those things that, you know, you figure it out where you can, without having to go for bids on it. You know, keep it on bid law, so. I'm trying to think the last one, what we spent on that, was 10, probably take about 15,000 to get pad built and sidewalk from there up to, you know, I'd say if you had 25, 30,000 in concrete work, you'd probably have quite a bit of it done.
So I put this up around 80,000, and then, if we wanna do any of the other stuff here,
What about trees? Is that something does that come out of your, I'm always confused on the
Say,
trees.
we
Is that something we budget
every
for?
year in the
Yeah, we
city's
put so
budget
many
for
trees
trees
in
throughout
there.
the city.
Just out there, we're having such a time getting them to grow.
We
We
do
just-
have some funds budgeted every year for trees
Yeah,
throughout the
little
city, just,
soil
yeah,
conditions.
just figuring out.
it's just straight clay, you said, right? Like, once you
Well,
get
you know,
there.
it used to be a field, you know, so there should be some decent dirt, black, you know, they did take a bunch reshaping it and brought some, you know, so you're gonna have 4 inches of maybe black dirt and then you have clay underneath it. But
Mhm.
you know how many years of chemicals been out there for some of that stuff, and, you know, the wind is really brutal on it out there, so. I mean, we've got some that are alive, some of them have been there for 15 years, and they're only 8 foot tall, 10 foot tall.
Wah, wah.
They just don't grow, I don't know what it is.
Spruce trees grow any better than that? And the cedar tree would, but.
Yeah, you don't wanna put trees
I
like
don't know if
that.
spruce trees would.
Yeah.
And windbreak too.
I don't know. I don't know.
Some of them you don't like to have, that, some of those types of trees in parks, they just, you trim them off, you know, stuff
But
like that.
when they go to like baseball, softball complexes, they do have them on the perimeter.
On the perimeters, yeah.
The border.
Fields and
Yeah,
things.
probably more of a screening they use it for,
I mean, they'd probably grow, you know,
versus trees.
they're gonna be more for windbreak and not for shade.
Right.
Yeah, they have more of a screening.
But it might allow you to grow the other trees.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's true, my grandkids use the other tree that
20
we-
years, they should be tall enough to make a windbreak. But yeah, you gotta start somewhere, you know, like you said, that's just it. So. But we budget so much every year for parks and stuff like that, different boulevard trees.
You said that's 80 total. Do you want to budget for the electricity out there to that pad, or the concrete for that shed, or?
I think we're gonna try to release concrete right away.
Right away for that?
Unallocated.
And get that moved this year, yeah?
Mhm.
You know, it might be possible that if they wanna come up with some money, we might have some left over too, we could partner with that.
And you got some of that unallocated
Unallocated,
funds.
yeah.
Oh,
Get that moved.
Probably
Like I said,
get done
if we're
this
gonna move
year.
ahead with the concrete right away, we definitely put conduit out, so we
Yeah.
bring electricity in right away.
Okay.
All right, do we have anything else we were talking about, trying to do out there right away? Shed, ADA, playground structure they brought up, we got some plans for that, it sounds like. Do we need to, look into giving you any extra funds for that fence, that you guys were talking
I
about?
don't
or-
think it's gonna be that
Okay.
much. I mean, we'll see, we'll come back to you guys and see where we're at once we get, make sure it's gonna fit in there first, and then, which we're gonna stake it out tomorrow and just see if it's gonna fit, and then, we'll measure off what we need for fencing. Fencing's, you know, we'll do all that ourselves, so it
Yeah.
won't be that much expensive.
Do we wanna throw anything in the budget as far as making alterations to the field? I have no idea where to start with that, if pushing this an extra 20,000 gets a field moved, converted more to a softball field or not.
I mean, if it's doable to make it playable for softball, with the backstops and everything already set up. I mean, basically, we're gonna go in with equipment, take the egg lamb off, and then bring black dirt back in and
Seed it.
get it seeded and water it and try to keep play off it for a while
Yeah.
until it gets established.
Move the foul poles, right, out a little bit there, and
So you'd probably be without a field for a year, because they usually want 3 seasons, one spring and fall, and a spring on a weekend.
So what would that leave for baseball to be able to use?
So you'd lose one field all summer, for sure.
But then 1 and 2 are kind of softball.
1 and 2 are
So
softball.
does that leave only one
That would only leave 1 for baseball then.
to practice on?
So
I don't think
they,
we have.
so they play softball on all 4 right now. They can play
And they can, 'cause,
softball.
yeah,
It's just
the
like I
other
said,
two are
the backside
multi-purpose,
being-
yeah.
Your whole field's pretty much dirt at that point because of the infield. Baseball, when you hit 12U, I think is when you need the 70-foot base paths. So 10Us, 8Us can use the softball fields. I'm not even sure on 1 and 2, I think there might be 70-foot
Pins out there.
pins. I mean, you can still keep, I mean, once you open 70, I think it's 90 different. There's 80. So then you're at 14. Then you need the big field. There's only, practice-wise, baseball's using all 4 fields right now.
That's what I'm saying, they're using.
Yeah.
It's hard to be-
But as
it'd be
far as
hard to
the
be
big
without it.
field, only
Huh?
It'd be hard to be without
14.
it for a summer.
if we,
It just, we'll get a lot of schedule, I mean,
Yeah.
Jenny schedules a lot of teams out there, and it's just.
to be down
It's
the field is
amazing how
gonna be
many.
tough.
a
Yeah.
good time to, but
I just don't want to
Yeah,
short
like I
us
said,
away.
you're gonna be down the field for a year.
Would we be able to, even like in the fall, get a seed down in the fall and help it get established earlier? Would that save us any time, or?
even if you could start with one, just moving the plate and the bases, and maybe not worry about the deep infield. That's not a game changer. I don't
That's
think.
just your outfielders be playing.
I mean, if there were,
Mhm.
again, I'd talk to Greg on.
Move the pins and.
Probably want to talk about, to baseball first before we do maybe.
Yeah,
There is no
there is no,
baseball entity.
yeah, there's no baseball authority here to talk to, really,
Yeah.
right?
I just know we'll hear it in the office on the backside.
Yeah, yeah.
You're doing what? What are you doing? That you chat for the WCA?
Yes.
So you
Yeah.
might have an opinion on it
Mhm.
Yeah, that's true.
from the baseball
Mhm.
perspective.
What I'm getting at though is, for budget purposes, it's not gonna be a lot of money. Probably the most expensive, would be city labor.
Yep,
The most expense is gonna be the seed.
Mhm.
grass.
okay.
So that's something we can.
Black dirt
We
and
can
grass.
address down the road and that stuff more without having to worry about putting budget money actually toward it.
Okay.
So,
I know one other thing that when I talked to Greg that he asked for, power to the batting cage, all the way so you don't have to drag a 150 foot.
Yep.
He said if you could get it on the south side of the batting cage to hook the machine up, would be something to ask for.
And I think that shouldn't be that much expense involved, because I'm hoping the power that's out to the scoreboards is enough, the wire's heavy enough that we can actually tie into that, because we're gonna be able to tie into that to get the other scoreboards fed. And I think there'll probably be enough yet to bring, power up to,
Because there's a outlet
there's all the time, yeah.
pole.
Yep.
And is there any in the dugouts?
No.
Maybe another thing. Nobody's gonna hold it.
Geez, you guys don't quit.
I'm telling you what he's telling him, we're telling him to ask for.
But the power to the batting cages, that might even be something that would be, there'd be extra funds yet this year.
You need outlets in the dugout for it.
Yeah, what are the outlets in the dugout for? I'm just
If
curious.
you have a picture.
Plug in their phones.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. That's what I thought too. Kids are on their phones.
Their pitching machines are electric,
Oh, so for practice.
so they get the boards.
Okay.
So really just out of one dugout was all you.
One dugout would probably be, I
Okay.
don't think it'd be two, it'd probably be
Well, I
I don't
didn't know
what high
if
school uses.
you put it in one, do you have to put it in the other in case the team brings a fan or something, or?
Well, I think you could put.
Home field
yeah,
advantage.
You could put a post up of some sort, outside of the dugout really, and have it so that it's set up for it. But something, yeah. What else you guys got? You know that your time ended like a half hour ago, right?
This meeting is running,
Way long.
does soccer need anything?
Not right now.
You don't need nets, you got what you need.
I think we're okay.
Concrete floor.
Flag football's-
Concrete in your
flag
goals.
football's good. Equipment wise,
Yeah.
flag football's good?
Yep, we actually, all that.
Yeah.
So we have.
Through your,
But, no, I think we've got all our supplies pretty set now. So we should-
okay,
I'm
Yeah.
at 263.
noted. So I'm calculating around 250, right?
I think you showed.
263?
263,
Yeah.
same as you do.
Yeah.
263?
263
Do you
is
want to
what I'm
look at
showing.
doing anything in Turtle Creek as far as for that 2 to 5 year old thing that we talked?
Oh, the playground?
Yeah.
Do we have enough space in that? Or where would
You
you?
know, maybe just something, you pick up a few small items.
Just a smaller.
Mhm.
I know like them diggers, them are just shy of 1,000 a piece
Mhm.
for them. There's, an ADA one, there's.
Yeah. A spinny chair or something like that.
Put it in the
So that-
Yeah, can we put 5 diggers in the budget and then we can spread them between the two parks?
You know, it probably wouldn't be bad, like even Turtle Creek, we do have some concrete going down to there already, you could add on that concrete, put one of those diggers right in that for handicap, I would look at maybe doing something in the park like that too, so. I know if you put them in, you wanna try to have some ADA
Okay,
Yeah.
equipment too.
at least an ADA, so. Should
So
we?
if you put 5 in, you could put a couple at Turtle Creek and 3 at the other part.
Yeah, or should we do,
Do a little concrete work with it or something.
would you do, like 2 in 1 and 1 in 1? As far as
That's what I
ADA
would
standard?
look at,
Okay.
recommend anyway, I guess.
Yeah.
And
It's up to you guys.
I'd imagine the ADA ones are probably more expensive than the
They
standard ones.
were, I think 30, I got priced out.
$1,000 a piece for 3 of them.
So the ADA was 950, and the other one was 920, so,
$5,000.
which
There we go.
could be because the non-ADA's got an extra seat on it. So it should be cheaper.
The engineering you gotta pay for, right? So that brings us to 268.
I'd figure a little concrete in with that too, so make sure we can get concrete in there.
$7,000, $2,000 worth of
I'd
concrete.
say that'd be adequate.
All right.
That'd be more than we do ourselves, so.
About 700. Did we have pricing on changing tables for the restrooms?
Yeah, they were about 350 each.
Yeah, I would love to throw those on.
I'd like to have
And then they come
those.
out of unallocated this year?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It'd be nice to get those in, because
Hopefully we'll get freed up.
a lot of little kids use their little,
As I say,
Yeah.
we could get them in
Yeah.
this year then still.
Yeah,
I like that.
hopefully we got somebody hired for the wastewater plant, so that'll start freeing us up where we can start getting these
Yeah,
projects
I
done.
like that.
So,
Did we
So
lose our
that would be-
wastewater guy?
Would that be purchasing 6 of them?
Did we lose the wastewater guy?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yep, supposed to start a couple weeks.
Would you put one in every,
If you did it, I would, I'd put one.
yeah, I think so too.
So you'd have 6,
Six of them.
yeah.
6 of them, okay.
6, yeah.
The other day for changing tables?
Yeah.
Just hold down.
So 6 of them, would you say 300 a
I
piece,
figured
400 a piece?
350, yeah.
So 2,400
You're thinking this year's unallocated one?
unallocated.
It would be nice, like I said, to get them in there.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rather than having to wait until next year again.
Check that one off.
Do we have anything for net for Swenson Park, or do we want to wait until we get that bill and then we can look and see? And I think I've seen where they have now on these new playground equipments, they have attachments that clamp onto the poles that maybe go off of some shade structure.
Oh, for the playground.
Maybe is something we could look at next year after we get that playground put up at Swenson Park, and if that's a viable option.
I think you were thinking we need some
Oh,
more.
first, he's talking shade.
Oh, okay, oh, okay. I thought it was
We're gonna be back-
protection.
Yeah, we'll be back far, no, nobody will hit up all that far
Yeah.
that we gotta worry about.
Yeah.
Protection, netting up, so, yep.
Okay, I think we've kind of hit all of our things. Is there, I mean, we're at 270. I think that's, I mean, we're pretty close there. We're right at 300,000 last year. And that was with the additional 35 that they gave us, right? So this is kind
Maybe we'll
of,
get another 30 then.
Yeah, right.
Who knows?
kind of right in line with where we've been.
Do we need to budget anything for the electricity needs out there, like a dollar figure for that?
With the irrigation?
Yeah, at the Swenson Park, just allocate X amount of dollars for,
Well, we've got the number for, that was like 6,000.
6,000?
For the shed, yeah. The other one probably, if we could pull off them scoreboards, you're probably gonna look at maybe $600-700 by the time we do it. But I think we should be, maybe have some allocated money yet this year.
To use our
to do
unallocated,
that
okay.
Electrical. Eventually, we're gonna run out of that money.
Yeah,
Might as well use it once it's.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Use it or
So what I would
lose it.
say, if we
Good, I can
at
lose
the
it.
end of the year, if we don't use it, we go ahead and purchase like the nets for the next pickleball courts.
Yeah.
We got them already on.
Yep, ahead of time.
Yep.
Have it ready to go.
So we'll find stuff to spend that pretty good at.
Craig's good at that, find stuff to spend money on.
Do we need to up our 70,000 for pickleball courts for next year at all, or
I
does it
think
seem
we're
like
gonna
we're
be
tracking?
close. I don't think this number's yield to date expenses right on that, on this year.
61,110.
Because we should have just the fencing and the concrete so far.
I added all that we paid for this year out of it.
I'll have to double check.
Basketball is gonna be like 48.
Yeah, I can re-add them up,
We
but.
could even call basketball
Fencing
50.
was only about.
Mhm.
If we get two more, if we get two more,
30.
Yeah, hoops in
so
there.
we have a total of 4 hoops.
Yeah.
So the young kiddos get their time.
I think he was suggesting a total of 6 hoops.
You'd look at, yeah, you'd be looking at 6.
2 this way and then 4 on the sideways, so you could have short games.
Even if you said half of the court,
And you can do half-court games.
and then 72.
Yeah, yeah.
You'd have 3 on one and one probably not to use it to play that way. One on the other for somebody who wants to use it too. I don't know how big basketball court is.
Looking at about, what we budgeted was a 45 by 75.
Normally it's about 2 wrestling mats. That's what I'm on.
That's your measurement.
That's what he knows about basketball.
About it.
Well, may only be about 50,000 underneath this other.
All right, well, I'll make
Yeah,
a,
I think that 70's gonna still work for.
Yeah, that would right that high.
I'll start with a motion to go to the council to release these unallocated funds for concrete pad and changing tables. Yeah, for this year, if anybody wants to second that motion.
I'll second that.
And all in favor?
Aye.
And that was for the changing tables and.
Changing tables and the concrete pad for their shed.
For the shed.
And then, and obviously we'll have that pad stubbed out for conduit, right? And then Maybe even be able to get power out there on the unallocated this year, depending on how the ends of these budgets are looking out. But we do have a little bit of time to make that one. That doesn't have to be before budgeting meeting, so.
I'll have to get you a number for concrete pad, so I'll measure that shed up. Then we usually go foot or 2 foot bigger, just so the more stay away from it.
Yeah, for sure.
So I can
Just did gravel under it this year.
Okay. I think the goal is for Craig is so he doesn't have to move it twice, so.
Gotcha.
Get concrete and get it over there, no.
get the stuff out with electricity.
And then, do you need a ramp in the front for a door or anything like that, out of concrete, or do you want to just square it off?
I'll figure it out and see what's gonna be best to tie it in with everything, so.
Perfect.
Because you guys don't have an actual concession door, you just use.
It's just
Garage door.
kind of a
Picnic
It's
table.
like a garden shed, it's got a garage door
Yeah,
on
you
one
can
side.
just
and
open
a
up the garage door.
Walk-in door on the other, and
Yeah.
what is it? 10, huge, 8,
So you just put a table
Fairly
in front of
decent
it?
size.
10 by 10?
Probably 10 by 12.
You just put a table in front of the door then and sell concessions off the table?
That's- I mean, the thing would be maybe it's like a bottom cooler, putting a refrigerator inside of it, you could have everything in the open it up.
Yeah,
We're gonna want at least about a 5 foot slab out in front of it, just.
yeah, for people to be doing that.
Give something to stand on,
Absolutely.
without tearing up anybody, make a mud mess.
Like we do at Skills, and we serve everybody pizza too, so.
Yeah,
It
absolutely.
would get used.
So I'll get you a number, hopefully the next couple days, so you got something to put for budget, for council.
You're gonna come to this next council meeting, like next Tuesday then?
Yeah, after the,
After the ride
Tour?
around?
Yeah.
Tour, the tour,
Yeah.
yeah.
What was the, do you guys remember, what was the, this was before me, but the expense to build the concession stand?
it was like 230 or 250?
55, I think.
Oh,
Yeah, it's always a big deal to get it filled.
But that included the bathrooms.
That's-
Yeah.
That was all the
Bathroom
bathrooms.
storage.
We did,
Right.
we did some of the work ourselves, you know,
Yeah.
stuff like that.
I was just thinking about like a mini concession stand for,
Well, probably wouldn't have to be that, because you realize that it's a storm shelter,
No.
No, it's-
it's not here to the storm.
We did put sheeting underneath the steel and everything like that, but it's not considered a storm shelter.
and I granted it's only.
It got way too expensive if we would've done that.
So, if you put something out there with bathrooms in it, there's gotta be so many bathrooms for what they feel the people are gonna be out there, which I was kinda told by our plumbing inspector that the next one might have to have more bathroom capacity.
Oh.
So,
No, I was kind of thinking just a mini concession stand setup.
With no
Not
bathroom?
with no bathrooms, but something where they could, soccer, flag football could do their thing. Could have
Who's gonna run it?
Yeah.
And run it.
I don't know how much soccer does, they don't play a ton of games out there.
They don't
They don't do
They
any.
play a few
They,
games.
Oh,
they just practice, as far as I know, because when we had that discussion with.
I know 2 years ago, they were having a game on a Saturday morning.
When they played a doubleheader against St. Thomas More or something, just played the JV game.
Oh, the high
Yeah,
school,
they-
and stuff,
high
they
school
haven't
does.
played them,
Right,
but the little kids are just
High
practicing,
school
yeah.
plays are kind of.
Yeah, the high school doesn't.
Dakota
compete,
Academy
yeah,
has
those
them
kids are
all
just
handcuffed
practicing.
into Sioux Falls, so.
Dakota Lions.
Yeah.
So that's very
Dakota Lions.
careful of the amount of games out there. Softball and playing football right now, like games.
Yep.
Or reach out to Knight School and see if he's got any requests for softball in the area. Or any kind of moves.
All right, we should probably put a motion on the budget.
You've got a motion, a second, didn't vote on it yet?
That was.
That was for
We have a
unallocated.
dollar amount?
Unallocated.
Yeah, we didn't allocate.
Oh, yeah, we gotta vote on that. Yeah, we all voted aye, I believe, right?
No, we didn't.
Okay.
Yep.
yeah.
We just gotta get numbers from Craig on that one, that's all. But the changing tables were
Figure 350 for each one
Yeah,
of those.
2,400 we decided, I think, right? So, we're 350 apiece at 6 tables.
So the motion is 2027 budget for 270,000 plus 30,000 unallocated. Is that how you want the motion to be?
Yeah, sure, just to ask them, because last year they just gave us the unallocated.
Like I say, I would ask for the 270.
Yeah, I think we asked for
You have plans for
270.
that, and if you wanted to give you more, great.
Yeah.
But
Last year we did not
I think it's
ask
all
for
going
it.
to depend on what else we all have on the budget as well.
Yeah, and this year, it was a unique year where there was no large city project like the
Right.
road, but next year I think there is one that's on the boiler, is that right?
We just went over our CIP, so we'll have some more engineering projects coming up.
So they will be a little bit tighter on their pennies, I'm sure. But, so yeah, the motion would be for $270,000 for the pickleball courts, the basketball courts, pool shade structure, and Swenson Park improvements.
To include irrigation and
Concrete.
concrete and ADA.
Correct.
And then $7,000 for diggers,
Yep, that's
Yep.
about
Yeah.
the figures.
for a total of 270.
Yep.
I'll make a motion
All right, I will second.
to submit the budget as
As discussed.
discussed.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I'll update the sheet for you, Tim, and send it to you, so you can list.
Read over here like,
What numbers are there?
600,000.
I got it written down there, but yeah.
Oh, man. Very good. And then we can review agenda items for the August meeting. So by the August meeting, it's going to be a little bit blank because we're going to be kind of starting over on knowing what we got approved, what we can work with, and then building out next year's project list and continuing the updates on what we've got going for this year, and then keeping a close eye on this unallocated funds to make sure we do our best to put that dollar amount to zero by the end of the calendar year. Because I think if it's too high, we might have to order a pizza party out of this unallocated funds for the maintenance department or something. All right, anybody have anything else for the good of the order? Or a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
All right, I will second. All in favor?
Aye.
Right. Do we have to set the date for our
24th.
August.
Yeah.
24th.
Next meeting, August 24th, 26th? Everybody good with that?
It's always the fourth,
Very good.
unless you guys change it.
Yeah.
All right.
Frank, were you gonna be around?